So before we start your checkup, I have to ask you a question. Ask away. Do you make Skyrim roleplay videos on the internet or are you sexually active? Hi! A few months ago I made a video where I shared 5 ideas for roleplaying characters in Skyrim. Here are 5 more, feel free to use them. All I ask in return is that you like the video so that it may travel further through the YouTube algorithm and that you leave a comment if you're going to be using one of these characters. Let's get into it. Vajira is a female Khajiit with a skooma dependency. From a young age, she joined her parents in the traveling caravan trade where she stole a wide variety of items, including skooma and other contraband. One day, while traveling through Skyrim, her caravan company is ambushed by Nord bandits. Everyone except Vajira is murdered in cold blood. Unfortunately, her parents are also among the dead. The only reason Vajira escaped with her life is because she feigned death, which the bandits believe to be true because of her severe injuries. Vajira specializes in stealth, light armor and one-handed combat. Because of her experience in the caravan trade, she is also proficient in the speech skill, specifically while bartering. Because of what happened to her, she bears a great hatred towards the Nords. To cope with the loss of her parents and the trauma of her near-death experience, she turns to skooma use. She often recalls what had happened to her at night. After the bandits left, she fled into the forest, losing copious amounts of blood. After running for what seemed like hours, she comes across a mysterious door in the woods. The door opens and she can barely walk in before collapsing. She is then nursed back to health by the Dark Brotherhood, a band of mysterious assassins. They train her and soon send her on her own missions. She excels greatly and is well on her way to climb up the chain of command in the Dark Brotherhood. They pay her well, which suits her because skooma is expensive. The day she came across a mysterious door in the woods marked the day she started her journey of becoming a listener of the Dark Brotherhood. Walks Near Water is a male Argonian born under the sign of the Shadow, making him a shadow skill. Black marsh culture dictates that Argonians born under the sign of the Shadow are taken at birth and are offered to the Dark Brotherhood to become assassins, otherwise known as shadow skills. Shadow skills are bound by the same 5 tenets that rule all the members of the Dark Brotherhood. Few farm, but to break one of the 5 tenets is to invoke the Wrath of Siddis. He is trained by the Dark Brotherhood to kill a family of 2 people living on a farm. Standard routine: in and out, kill, hide the bodies, no witnesses. He travels to the location and hides in the attic. While stalking and spying on the targets from above, he can make out that they are a male and female Argonian, so he moves in for the kill, dagger in hand. Suddenly, he halts when he sees that there are both men over a cradle, where a little Argonian baby is laying. His heart skips a beat when he hears the words, "If only both of them weren't born under the sign of the Shadow." In his heart, he knows who his targets are, and he leaves the farm. However, never disobey or refuse to carry out an order from a Dark Brotherhood superior. To do so is to invoke the Wrath of Siddis. After refusing to fill this particular contract, Walks Near Water is greenlit by the Dark Brotherhood and is forced to flee and live life looking over his shoulder. Walks Near Water specializes in sneak, light armor, archery and wielding 2 daggers. He prefers to stay near water and only travels inland when absolutely necessary. Walks Near Water is an assassin of great renown, but longs for nothing more than a peaceful life. A journey of 1,000 miles towards a peaceful life started with a single step when he left the Dark Brotherhood behind. But because walking is slow, he wants Shadowmere as a mount, so he returns to become the listener of the Dark Brotherhood. Gor Broham is the strongest orc in his tribe, surpassed only by his chief. Only the chief has reproductive privileges with the other females in the stronghold because the tribe needs to be strong. It goes without saying that birth defects or incest is something unbeknownst to the orcs. One day, Gor Broham falls in love with one of the girls in the tribe, but he is not allowed to act on his feelings because he is not the chief. Months pass and his feelings for the orc girl only blossom. Not only that, they are reciprocated. They both know that the only way for them to be together is if Gor can best achieve in single combat. So he issues a challenge. After a long and valiant effort, Gor is bested. Instead of being killed, the chief exiles him from the tribe and he is forced to make a life elsewhere. This marked the last day he and the girl saw each other. He specializes in heavy armor and 2-handed combat. He values raw strength above all and denounces any form of magic. Nothing is better for Gor than the thrill of combat. Fueled by rage, bloodlust and the wish to find a sense of purpose, Gor joins the Dark Brotherhood. This charismatic male Imperial lives for travel, song and revelry. After leaving the Imperial city to travel to Skyrim, he hears of the Bard's College in Solitude and decides to apply. After rolling a natural 20 on his performance check during the audition, he is accepted among their ranks and excels, graduating summa cum laude after 4 long years. Dario is quite a rogue, specializing in the use of daggers, illusion magic and sweet-talking ladies. What do you think, girl? Am I roguishly handsome or handsomely roguish?
I think you're obviously desperate and desperately obvious.
Nowadays, Dario is performing in inns and castles around Skyrim, enjoying the benefits that being a handsome musician brings. All in all, he leads a life that he's pretty content with. But that is about to change. Because musicians make fuck all and Dario has crippling student loans, he becomes a listener for the Dark Brotherhood. This Mil Bradan is a righteous, lawful good paladin and a champion of Meridia. Because zombies killed his parents or something, he vows to rid the lands of all undead creatures. He specializes in heavy armor, sword and shield and restoration magic. His weapon of choice is the Dawnbreaker. Because righteous lawful good is often boring as fuck, he goes through a rebellious phase in which he becomes a listener for the Dark Brotherhood.